Live. Welcome to The Process. It is Tuesday, December 14th. I am Josh Engelman, and I'm here to break down what was supposed to be a 4-game slate, but it's just a 3-game slate. Sorry, Bulls. So 3-gamer for today. I forget how many it's supposed to be on Thursday, but we lost another one there too for the Bulls and their COVID issues. But before we do anything, can you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. That all helps us out a ton. Boy, oh boy, was yesterday ugly. If you succeeded yesterday, kudos. I don't totally know how you landed on some of those pieces. For example, who here expected, or did I lose my table already? I did, I already refreshed it. Who here expected PJ Tucker to be one of the 10 highest raw point scorers of the slate? Not I. Everything that could have went bad did go bad yesterday, including Joel Embiid getting scratched during the lock, 801. Miserable. I faded Chalk yesterday, and that was still meaningless. And Chalk was bad. Like, that's how ridiculous yesterday was. I was light on things that people were heavy on that went bad, and I still got my clock cleaned. I looked at the correlations between my ownership, like the final value metrics, and public ownership in the final value metrics, and just like general correlation, which not anything that I like legitimately read into, but it was like 0.09. There was like no rhyme or reason to where fantasy points were scored yesterday. 9-game slate, and the highest score on FanDuel was like 350 or something. What was it? Yeah, one guy got the 366 in the main. Everybody else was in the 350s on a 9-game slate. That's how bad everything was. Just, you weren't going to get there with anything. If you liked your lineup yesterday before lock, you got your clock cleaned. Because you had to have 3 or 4 different random idiots in your lineup. The winning lineup on FanDuel yesterday had 19 points from Kevin Huerter and 15 points from Reed from Denver. That's, like, he's unowned and awful. Jokic closed with 72. PJ Tucker had 41 fantasy points on FanDuel yesterday. That is insane. Trey Burke had 35. Eric Gordon had 39. These are the guys that are in the winning lineup on FanDuel. Trey Burke, Eric Gordon, Devon Reed, PJ Tucker. And they were like, 2 of those guys were necessary. One guy had 15 and a half fantasy points yesterday on a 9-game slate. And that lineup was able to win. Just brutal. Where did 356.8 finish in the FanDuel tourney? 356.8 would have been second for 20K. Just absolutely, truly awful slate. Clean across the board. Didn't matter who you liked yesterday. That guy probably sucked. It was brutal. Truly, truly brutal. Which is just, one of those days. Yeah. Okay. So PJ Tucker had the 7th highest score on FanDuel yesterday. I mean, PJ Tucker had 41 fantasy points. That's usually like 2 weeks worth of work for him. And he did it yesterday. I mean, Kristaps Porzingis had 50 fantasy points at the half and then just stopped. Played 25 minutes. Insanity. Kristaps Porzingis had 2.16 fantasy points per minute, and that wasn't even the best rate on the slate because Nikola Jokic had a 2.36. Just not good. Not good at all. Charles Bassey scored 37 fantasy points yesterday in 22 minutes. That was the 18th highest score on FanDuel. Oh, man. It wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. Well, on that note, let's go ahead and let's get into the next slate. Let's wash ourselves of the sins of yesterday with a rise and grind. That's right there, and a cheers. I wish this was like a mug of heroin or something after yesterday. Unfortunately, just largely decaf coffee. But if you've got whatever it is that you've got in the morning, coming off of yesterday's slate, I wouldn't be surprised if people were cheersing me with beers and liquors and all that good stuff. Whatever you've got on today's lovely Tuesday morning, cheers to you guys. Rise and grind. Let's correct yesterday's mistakes. Alrighty. So let's get the music going in the background here. Done. Let's switch the screen up a little bit. Done. And by the way, good morning to everybody. Tons of coffee cups, lots of people here. 69 viewers, 32 likes. Close enough, but don't be afraid to keep hitting that like button. And shout out to Prize Picks for being the presenting sponsor of this show. You got to use the promo code Awesemo when signing up. Get up to $100 on your first deposit. Can't really beat that. We've got free player prop tools on the website that will help you out. Let you make all of your picks because you don't have to worry about like sharks or optimizers or anything like that. You're basically just building parlay cards. We could help you out at awesemo.com, so go ahead and check that out. No Irish cream here. This is like 95% decaf. All right, well, I was just taking a look at some of the scoring for yesterday. 9-game slate, 10 people scored 40 fantasy points yesterday. 10. Crazy. All right, let's dive into it. Toronto Raptors, 8.5-point underdogs in Brooklyn. 216 total. For the Raptors, still no OG Anunoby, Precious Achiuwa, Khem Birch, Banton, Dragic. On the Brooklyn side, looks like we've got everybody that we normally have except for now Paul Millsap in the health and safety protocols. So, for Toronto, this one's actually going to be pretty easy, other than having to replace Banton's minutes. But we've got Chris Boucher in. I think something in the neighborhood of 25 minutes for Boucher makes a ton of sense. I'm going to confirm my assumptions that Pascal Siakam was the straight backup 5 yesterday. But I do think it's important to note if they run it any differently. Yeah, PJ Tucker was 5% owned in the big FanDuel contest, which I didn't expect. Alrighty. So Boucher here comes off. Okay, so who is the 5 in this scenario? So Scotty Barnes had the staggered rotation with Watanabe, Banton, Svi Mikhailiuk, and Champagne. So who is the nominal 5 in that lineup? Barnes? Raptors. What the hell site am I looking for? Reference. There we go. So, yeah, I guess well, that's also pretty interesting. Scotty Barnes. There's nobody on the Raptors taller than 6'9". Okay, so like they just don't care about positions or height. Okay, that's fine. So I assume this rotation is largely just going to be everything that we've already done. Like it's just yesterday, but again, 36 minutes for Siakam, 25 minutes for Boucher. Watanabe played a little bit more. But he's been averaging like 18 minutes a game. I'm gonna make it 20 just because of the news. Yeah, SMP. I'm with you there. Just for those that don't have chat, he said, I don't feel like mistakes were made. If you told me I could play Brogdon, Jackson, Brunson, Beal, Herter, Trent, Barnes, Boucher, and Embiid, I'd be ecstatic. That was my worst lineup. Yeah, I completely agree there. All right, I got Van Vliet in for 38. We got Trent in for 37. It's looking like Malachi Flynn is going to play a backup run here. And then Svi seems fine at about 18 minutes. I'm going to make that 20 just for this kind of slate, which means that we have 17 minutes left over. They would have been basically Banton's minutes. Where do they go? I think it's just going to be the Justin Champagne. So I'm going to give him 17. Just call it a day. I don't have any rates to change or anything for this team. Like Toronto's just easy. I'm stretching it out further than I really need to. Brooklyn will be a little different, I guess. But even at the same time, I mean, we've got Durant and Harden playing 38 minutes a night. Patty Mills in for 33 is fine. LaMarcus Aldridge's minutes have been down a little bit over these past 3 games. So I'm going to knock him down 1 more minute. We've got Claxton, who's been playing a little bit more as of late, which I find to be interesting. Maybe we get him up to 18. Should it be more? When did they play last? Sunday the 12th. Brooklyn. All right, they played Detroit, so that's not exactly the best cross section here. But Aldridge didn't close. Claxton did. But at the same time, they went on a 19-1 run. So that's generally how that's going to work. But, they had Blake Griffin got dusted off too. And this had no Harden. So I don't think that helps me at all. So, yeah, I think 18 minutes for Nick Claxton works. Or maybe go 26 and 19, something like that, for Aldridge and Claxton. And then James Johnson's minutes will be pretty important here. He's been playing about 22 a game. I got him in for 22, so that works. Bembry minutes are down recently. We're going to take him down to 19. No, maybe 20. No, it's got to be 19. Bruce Brown's minutes slightly up. We'll take him back up to 20. Cam Thomas has been playing a lot more as of late, and I think that makes some sense. We'll take him to 24. 1 random minute left over. I don't know where that's going to go. I guess Javon Carter. He plays 3 minutes a game. Rates should all be the same. I don't really have anything that we need to change here. So let's take a look at these 2 teams. We'll start with Toronto, and we know exactly what we're doing here. Van Vliet, Barnes, Trent, Siakam, Boucher. You play all 5 of them. You probably don't play anybody else from Toronto. and whoever you choose to play from Toronto is going to feel random. That's where I land. All 5 guys look good. They all look really similar. Some guys have higher ceilings than others. On Brooklyn. On FanDuel, it's really difficult to not prioritize Harden over Durant. They're basically equals from a rate perspective. Only James Harden is $700 cheaper. On DraftKings, both guys are more expensive and the prices are closer. So to me, it's Harden once again. After that, like I don't think there's a single guy on Brooklyn that you look at and say that's a guy that I should have today. Yeah, I mean, like none of these guys have like sizable boom percentage. The bottom of Brooklyn is really gross. 1 game down. On to Golden State. 98 viewers, 45 likes. We might not get 100 today because we're going to be out of here in a half hour. Because this is a really easy slate. Golden State, 3.5-point favorites in New York. Really excited for this one because people can finally just shut up about Steph Curry's threes as if that record is meaningful in any way. He's going to beat it by 1,000 threes by the time he's done. I don't know why we care right now. It's a fake record from the past. And whatever we can do to get people to stop asking questions about why is Steph Curry a great play because he can break the record and make 1,000,000 threes. Just send this record on its merry way. Alrighty. I mean, from a rates perspective, again, I don't think we're changing anything here, although we do need to take Otto Porter out. Doubtful for rest. We're assuming he's sitting on the back-to-back. Has that been the case so far? Otto Porter back-to-back didn't play. Otto Porter back-to-back didn't play. So let's assume that Otto Porter does not play. Iguodala back, so this is a pretty easy fix. We give Iggy, 19 minutes or something? Oh, not even. He's barely played as of late. We'll give him like 14 minutes. Should we just add like Kuminga or something? This team is so dumb. Kevon Looney, though, playing some really weird rotations. Against the Knicks, we could certainly see a little bit more of Looney. That would not surprise me at all. Let's do something like that. Nope, not that. This. There we go. Yeah, I can't believe Jokic got the gate, too. Justin, there's no need for them to keep Davion. I don't think he's going to be able to be good enough offensively. Yeah, Curry. Yeah, I don't really have anything else I can change on these teams. So that's Golden State. No changes to the rotation. You just project Curry, Wiggins, Poole, and Draymond, and then everybody else gets 14 minutes. Theodore, Porzingis wasn't super necessary yesterday. As weird as that sounds. He should have been. He just didn't play enough. Let me just make sure I don't want to change any of these rates. 33. 33. Yeah. Draymond 31, so 32. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, Justin, a Thibault at the 1 is a very meaningless player. All right, New York Knicks. Now, I actually remember seeing news about the Knicks. I think they've got a lot of stuff going on. So Alec Burks is off the injury report. No RJ Barrett, no Obi Toppin. Okay. So a little bit more complicated here for the Knicks. But should open up at least a little bit of value. Who started in the last Knicks game? So we got Noel starting and closing, playing 28 minutes. Mitchell Robinson getting to 18. Good to know there. Grimes started and played 39 minutes. We'll see where we end up here. So I'm going to go 26-22 on Nerlens Noel, Mitchell Robinson. They might end up having to go to Randall at the 5. That honestly wouldn't surprise me at all. But I think 26-22 makes some sense. Maybe it's 26-21. 1 to Randall. Backup 4. I mean, they went Kevin Knox for 28 minutes here. I don't know if that's the long-term plan. All right, Burks. 34 minutes. Seems light, probably. I'll go 35. We've got Quickly in for 26. I think that fits. We've got Derrick Rose in for 25. With no Burks and Barrett, he played 36. With both guys in, he played 33 on Friday. Let's call it like 28. For right now, maybe. That doesn't even seem right. I mean, does he just play 30 minutes? How did he even get those minutes? So he started. So the question then becomes, who leaves the starting rotation today? Quentin Grimes or Derrick Rose? That's the real question. I mean, it makes the most sense to say that it's Grimes, but who the hell knows? Fournier just sort of plays the same minutes every night. So at the very least, I need to give Kevin Knox some time, which is craziness. Yeah, I think Grimes is going to play like 30 minutes here. I just got to figure out how to get him those minutes. I don't know who they come from. Let's work our way through this. Who gets the minutes haircut? I mean, maybe it's Mitchell Robinson, but I don't want him to be like a complete no-go today either. How do I get Quentin Grimes to 28-ish minutes? Yeah, Justin Bonilla. Kevin Knox ain't that guy. He done. His career is terrible. We can ship him out. He's never gonna be it. He's been probably the worst player in the league since he came in. I mean, he can't shoot. He can't really do anything. He's just bad. Oh, man. This is tricky for the Knicks. I got to find like 6 minutes for Quentin Grimes here, and I don't know where they come from. Because it's not Alec Burks. It's not Quickly. I don't have any reason to suspect it's Rose. It's not Fournier. It's not Randall. I guess it's just Kevin Knox. That's really what it is here. We got to do something like this. I think that's the play. Dennis, Tibbs doesn't really run the starters into the ground this year. That was more of a last year thing. All right, I think that's just going to have to work. I don't get the sense that taking RJ Barrett off is going to have any sort of huge, like, effect on this team, but we at least need to find out. So let's take out all these rates. With no RJ Barrett on the floor, Alec Burks continues to not get assists in any scenario. Evan Fournier also continues to not get assists in any scenario. All right, so we'll start with Burks. Alec Burks, 20% usage rate with no RJ Barrett on the floor. I mean, Alec Burks is very clearly going to be, at least on FanDuel, the best play for the Knicks. On DraftKings, it could be Derrick Rose. He's got a 23% usage rate with no RJ Barrett on the floor. So, does anybody get a real big bump? No, like everybody just sort of does the same stuff. Nothing changes on this team. Nerlens Noel just basically doesn't participate. Mitchell Robinson basically doesn't participate. Quickly just is quickly. And then Fournier does Fournier stuff. It's truly crazy. Tricky Knicks team today. So for the Warriors, Curry, Wiggins, Poole, Green, you know who you could roster here. Honestly, Kevon Looney for 3,200 on DraftKings needs to be in play for some people, but he's 4,700 on FanDuel, makes it a little bit tougher. Right now, we don't have a single play on this slate that like jumps off the page. Alec Burks for 5,600, shooting guard small forward on FanDuel is like the closest thing to that, and it's not even that great. Randall, Burks, Grimes for 3,800 and Rose, but like Grimes is only interesting if he starts. Not that he can't be interesting if he doesn't, but like you can't trust him otherwise. I don't know what to do with Rose. He's $1,200 more expensive on FanDuel, so there's that. I mean, you can get to like Noel and Quickly and Fournier. DraftKings is hard for the Knicks. It's a bit easier on FanDuel. Good God, we're at the halfway point, or more than the halfway point already. One game to go here. Phoenix at Portland. Another back-to-back here for the Suns. On the Phoenix side, we did not get DeAndre Ayton last night. Who the hell knows if we do tonight? It's a way more important decision now. Obviously, we're probably assuming that he plays. And then on the Portland side, still no CJ, no Cody Zeller. We know what we're doing there. So let's project out the rest of Phoenix, which means 32 minutes for Ayton, 16 minutes for JaVale. What did we actually get out of Phoenix yesterday? Ish Wainwright's minutes can just completely go away. Hutchinson's minutes can go away. Mikal Bridges, I mean, he just plays 36 minutes a game. I don't know what else to do here. I do want to give JaVale slightly more minutes, even though I know they don't play alongside each other, because I just want him to be able to show up in some crunches. Jay Crowder played 25 minutes yesterday. Normally plays about 30. So we can handle that. Landry Shamet plays about 26 minutes a game, so we can cut those. Cam Johnson has been playing about 30, so I can hold there. Take Peyton down to 10, leave Cam Payne at 23, and we have a Phoenix rotation. And I don't really feel like I need to make any changes, but I guess I do. So let's take, now that we've had a lot of, like a pretty good sample of Phoenix with no Booker, I should probably take a look at these things. Congrats, I Eat Pencils. It's a good return for yesterday. All right, so Booker off. Chris Paul, we'll say 22%. Big time assist rate for sure. No real rebounding going on. Cam Johnson doesn't really participate all that much. Cam Payne certainly does. Ayton's assist rate or usage rate is 22% with no Booker on. So that works. Jay Crowder, 16. It's just always 16. JaVale with no Devin Booker, 28% usage rate. Man, they give him the rack. I don't think we have anything else we need to change here. Shamet's not doing anything. Neither is Mikal Bridges. I mean, Mikal Bridges just does, like, actually nothing when he's out there, which is kind of wild. And yet he might be the best play. All right, so that's Phoenix. Portland should be pretty easy. There are no good plays today. Unless we get Ayton out early, at which point everybody's going to have JaVale. This is just a really ugly team. So, oh yeah, Dame is back. I totally forgot Dame is back. All right, I gotta gut this entire rotation. I totally forgot that Dame is just on the team again. Man, he might be really popular. All right, so Dame played Sunday. It's now Tuesday. He came straight back into 37 minutes. I have no reason to suspect he's not going to do that again. Nurk. Minutes are just all over the map. I'm giving him 25. And I think I'm sort of matching Larry Nance with those minutes. I mean, Norm Powell's got to be 36 minutes for sure. So let's lock those in. Covington has played 30 minutes the past 3 games. Feels like that's going to happen again. So let's lock that in. Simons came back right into 32 minutes. So I think we're doing that as well. And I will move these around once we see fit. But I want to make sure I get all the legitimate options in here. Maybe 24 for Nas Little. That leaves me 31 minutes for DSJ, Snell, Ben McLemore. So now we can start putting those pieces together. Dennis Smith Jr., now that Lillard and Simons were back, basically didn't play. I'm going to assume that that continues. So we're going to do 11 minutes here for Simons at the 1. And then 21 more at the 2. That lets me move Norm Powell's minutes. What do I have him in for? 36, right? Yeah, 36. Shit, I already forgot what I had in for Simons. Where the hell is... Why aren't they in my shortcut bar any longer? Yeah, add, undo, add, redo. There we go. So redo that. We take him to 36 minutes. Covington can move basically all of his minutes to the 4 if we need to. So I have 31 minutes left over. McLemore gets 15. Where do the final 16 go? Is it just Tony Snell? Is that what we're going to do here? Seems like the easiest thing to do. That feels about right, though. For the most part, at least. That feels about right. Now, rates are all going to be wildly incorrect since Dame is back. But we know how to get there. Portland. Got it. All right. So with no CJ McCollum, did they stagger at all this last time out for Portland? That's an important distinction. So Dame played normal. They had really weird rotation for Larry Nance, who picked up a ton of fouls pretty quickly. So, yeah, does Covington get those minutes because of the foul trouble to Nance? They played Nurkic the entire first quarter. And then Nance was just, potentially supposed to just be the backup. But then he picked up that foul again. And they just went small. Yeah, I feel like I might be a little light here on Larry Nance, given what we just saw. So let's take a little bit more time. We're going to take 1 minute from Covington. Take 2 minutes from Snell. make that 28 for Larry Nance. Now let's get back to the rates. Yeah, I think Nance is going to get a little bit more time here today. What's up, Crispy? All right, so Damian Lillard. With no CJ McCollum, 32% usage rate. After that, we're going to go Norm Powell, 26% usage rate. Let's put Dame on for this too. Norm Powell, 22% usage rate with no Dame. We'll say they stagger a little bit. We'll get them up to 23.5. Simons is at 23% with Dame on and no CJ. So I'm going to assume that that largely holds. Nurk, 21, so he can keep his normal rate. Larry Nance can keep his normal rate. Nas Little can keep his normal rate. Robert Covington can keep his normal rate. So that's the slate. And unless Portland's got a really weird price, you know, Bridges, Paul, Ayton, Crowder, they're all guys you can get to. Campaign is a value option on DraftKings. Clearly, we're playing a ton of JaVale if DeAndre Ayton happens to get ruled out at a reasonable time. Yeah, hit that like button if you can. 150 viewers, 73 likes. We might be out of here before we can get to 100. So if you guys can help us get there, that would help me out a ton. On Portland, okay, so Dame is 8,700 on FanDuel. He might actually be the best play on the slate. Powell, Simons, Covington for 3,400 on DraftKings is probably the best value option. Larry Nance is available here. Nurk is 7,300 on DraftKings, but only 6K on FanDuel. This is going to be interesting. Time to run optimals. And if I'm being honest, I don't know what this is going to look like. This is a very difficult slate. It just doesn't appear like we have anything good. I don't have anybody projected for 50 fantasy points. That's crazy. All right, FanDuel Optimal for today. Damian Lillard, Chris Paul, Norm Powell, Alec Burks, Andrew Wiggins, Mikal Bridges, Siakam, Boucher, DeAndre Ayton. I mean, like, that looks like a great lineup. You could drop down 1/10 of a point if you want by switching Mikal Bridges to Larry Nance. Like, I don't hate this. There aren't any pieces in that lineup that I look at and think like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to play that guy. So that's not all that bad on FanDuel. It's just about how many guys in that lineup are going to fail, which is brutal to think about. All right, so power rankings. This is going to be a hell of a slate. I'm excited for it now. I wasn't when I woke up. All right, here we go. Damian Lillard, to me, is our number one contender for today so far. That is really tricky to see. So Dame, Burks, Andrew Wiggins, Norm Powell, Chris Boucher, James Harden, Julius Randle, Pascal Siakam, Gary Trent, DeAndre Ayton, Chris Paul, Jordan Poole, Kevin Durant. That's where we draw the line where we get to 30%. Again, there aren't any names in there that I have a problem with, but the separation between like Julius Randle and Draymond Green is so low. What a scary, scary slate for today. This is going to be a fun one. Hopefully, I really hope we get Ayton news early, like that he's just in. I don't really want everybody on a rush to go play JaVale. All right, DraftKings Optimal. This should be a treat. DK optimal. Okay. Scotty Barnes, Derrick Rose, Norm Powell, Chris Boucher, Julius Randle, Lillard, Covington, Nance. I don't even know if I would run that lineup. You could drop down 1/10 of a point by swapping out Julius Randle and somebody for Harden and Crowder. Randle and Norm Powell, I guess. Yeah. Wow. Well, that's the DraftKings optimal for you guys. Let's take a look at power rankings. Lot of Blazers up in this piece. Lot of Blazers. Damian Lillard, Larry Nance, Robert Covington, Jordan Poole, Norm Powell, Boucher, Barnes. That's everybody north of 30. We'll go to 25 since it's DraftKings. James Harden, Anthony Simons, Julius Randle, Gary Trent, Chris Paul. Quentin Grimes, very close. I have no idea what I like here. Public ownership could differ from me pretty dramatically. I liked FanDuel. DraftKings is scary, man. It's really scary. If we're ranking the pay-up options, Curry's last. I would go Dame. Well, if we're only 3 guys at 11K, it's Harden, Durant, Curry for me pretty easily. But we'll see what ownership means. Man, this is... I mean, Justin, obviously Kevin Durant and Steph Curry both have 60-point upside. Kevin Durant just scored 51 real points in a basketball game. This is wild. Hard slate. I really wish that Bulls game was on here. I mean, a 4th game would really open things up, especially with some of this Bulls value. Well, this one's going to be fun. This one's going to be real fun. I like it. I'm excited for the FanDuel version of this tonight. It's gross, but anytime you can play a lot of Chris Boucher, Alec Burks, Norm Powell, and Gary Trent, everything's just going to go great for you, right? Harden will not be lower owned than Curry. That just won't be the case. He's cheaper and projects better in every single person's projection system. Guys, 3 games up, 3 games down. All right, 92 legs. Can we hit that 100 mark before we get out of here? That would be great. It would be very, very helpful indeed. Sherman, I hope that you see money in my eyes. That would be really, really awesome. I hope that you see some money as well. But yeah, if we could hit that like button one last time for the 50-something of you that haven't done it yet. Because we're done here. I mean, this 3-game slate, easy. Not too much to really worry about. I think we're going to have a 4-game slate on Thursday. Tomorrow's a big one. Tomorrow we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We got 11 tomorrow. And we have a 4-game slate on Thursday. So that's where we're at right now. That's it, everybody. We done here. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for getting me up over 100 likes. I love seeing it happen, even on this short slate. The news god is here just as this show ends. So time to get out of here. Another good one in the books. Contenders videos will be up shortly. Strategy show with Adam in a little bit. But good luck today, everybody. Win a little bit of money. It's going to be a fun slate. Let's hope we get some wild news today. Let's just get nuts. It'll be fun. Good luck tonight, everybody. Back again tomorrow morning, 6:30. It's The Process.